I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from $15 to $45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise, an equal raise, getting out the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring into the help the students, the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers are, I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have to make sure that every single child does in fact have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers, school, not daycare, school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes and parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help, they don't know quite what to do. play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background, will fewer spoken by the time they get there. There's so much. I'm going to go like the rest of them do, twice over. Okay?
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. It fooled me, we can't get fooled again, can't get fooled again.
The battle of righteousness versus Satan. Yes, Satan. Because these leftists are evil.
And he's like this, and we will, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television.
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
I hate the white man. He's of the devil. He was made in a cave in the worst parts of Europe, produced from the lowest forms of humanity.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. To come. To come. To come.
Yeah. I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic stylation of Above It All. Your host is on the way. Please wait. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a bit here, but I'm also trying to set up the camera. What's up, folks? How's it going? Welcome to the goddamn. I am here once again. I'm alive, and welcome to the goddamn. So this is what's going on. This is a show. We got a show here, and we got a show. There's a whole program going on, and so we got a show. Folks, elephants. I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw some elephants. So I want to share this with you. Huh? Pretty good. Let me turn my light on. Is there any difference between the light being on and off? Like, do you prefer the light being on? I'm radiant or off? Naturally. Mood lighting. Huh? Let's go with on. Alright, folks. Off. Someone said off. You want to see this? Magic trick. Look at that. See? Incredible. That's correct, Felix. That must have been what Lincoln Project was making fun of. Must have been? That's correct. That must have been, folks. All right, so let's get into the recap. Let's recap. I got so many fucking folders. All right, so because I'm a goddamn, check this out. So because I'm an idiot, I have the video file as like holding the camera like this, right? So please wait. You know, I'm holding it like this because I'm an idiot. So I started the video like this because I'm an idiot, and then I twisted the camera, right? But it's still filmed like this. So I don't know why. First of all, I really need to get this out there. Anyone, and I mean anyone that records videos like this, huh? What are you doing? Why is this even an option? If I could disable this in my entire cell phone's video recording apps, I would. This is an abomination. This is the only way you're allowed to do it. Or this. But this, no good. And certainly not this. But, so I'm going to have to do some stuff here. So please bear with me. I'm going to have to use some OBS filters. Let's check this out. Okay, transform. Rotate. I rotated that the wrong direction. Fuck. Wait, did I? Yeah, I wrote. Oh, fuck. Okay. Rotate. All right, folks. Yeah, that did not necessarily fix the problem. Okay. You see, this is what I have to do. I do this for y'all. I do this for y'all. This is what I do it for. This is something that I do for y'all. I just want you to know that. I do this for y'all. All right, folks. Woo! Okay. Amazing. So yesterday was day 123 of protests in the city of Elizabeth City, North Carolina. The fourth straight month, not a single day has been missed. 123 days in a row of protesting for justice for Andrew Brown Jr. in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. So, here we are, folks. I mean, this is 4 months in. Right now, we're still in a phase of where, you know, there's not that many people coming out. People are living their lives, enjoying their summers. That's fine. Me, personally, I have no friends, so I'm not enjoy the summers. No, I'm going to stay home and play video games all day and then go out to, you know, protest the government for an hour or two or whatever. Right, but anyway, jokes aside, it's been 4 months, folks, and that's an incredible demonstration. 4 months straight, not a single day wasted, not a single day missed of protesting is an incredible feat. And I just want to say, like, again, I'm super proud of everyone in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, who has been out here, whether or not they've been out here every day, every other day, as often as they could. There are people that have come out here and they are not afraid to put, you know, their faces out there, to have the rest of the community know that they find this unacceptable. A lot of people are very much so wanting to go back to life as normal in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. We have a lot of people that talk to us and say, like, thank you for coming out here every day. I can't do it every day, but I appreciate you doing it, and, that kind of stuff. And then we also have a lot of people that, will drive by and scream drug dealer out the window as if, okay, like, are they talking to me? I don't know, like, what? So I don't really know what that is. But, we live in a city right now where this is a southern city. About 50% of the population is white and 50% is black. And, among the white people, not everyone's a racist, piece of garbage. A lot of them are, but not everyone. And so, it's one of those situations where right now, the city has always been divided, but no one's ever known about Elizabeth City. This is a situation where when Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed, Elizabeth City had national media attention for the first time. And although the national media attention has long gone, because we haven't been throwing rocks through windows, we haven't set anything on fire, the national media is gone. So they spent all of 2020 lecturing people, this is how you should protest, this is how you should protest. And as soon as people follow their directions and say, all right, we should protest by walking through the streets or on the sidewalks, okay, the national media is gone. The national media only cares about if they can get a cool headline. They only care if they can get clickbait headlines like, oh, protesters, throw a brick through a window. More news at 11. They don't care that protesters have been going 123 days in a row with not a single thrown rock. That doesn't matter to them. That's irrelevant to them. They will continue to lecture other cities for protesting in other ways about how to and how not to protest, and then ignore places like Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And that's why I have been so adamant about documenting this entire situation, because the national media is gone. The local media is gone. No one is paying attention to what's going on here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. 123 days, 4 months since Andrew Brown was killed on April 21st, 2021. And again, not a single thrown rock, not a single broken window. And the local police departments are still trying to, enforce bogus charges on protesters. They're still trying to harass protesters because they are very upset at what we've been doing. They have wanted us. They've been trying to bait people in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, into causing violence and to inflicting damage on property so that they can flex their muscles and have a good time like they saw their friends on TV do last year. But they've been unable to do so. People were bussed in the first couple of weeks. Riot cops. They spent $500,000 in a couple weeks on riot cops, grenade launchers with tear gas canisters, dozens of school buses, armored trucks, RVs, for nothing. They wasted all of it. There were people that drove 300 miles away from random counties in North Carolina that were signed up to be a volunteer to go enforce the law in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Why did they drive 300 miles away? Because they wanted to crack some heads. They wanted to beat the shit out of some people. And they couldn't get the opportunity to do so. So all they did was they stood there like dullards, and they said, move back, over and over, like a bunch of freak shows. And they choreographed it really poorly, right? And so the local police department is very upset that we've been out here for 4 months straight, 123 days, without violating a single law. They are so upset that we haven't violated any laws that they're trying to arrest people, and they have tried to arrest people on the sidewalk, and then said that they're arresting people in the street. And then when they go to the court, the trial, right, when the protesters go to trial, the arresting officers are nowhere to be found. They're on vacation. They're out patrolling the streets for drugs or whatever the hell they think is more important than actually trying to enforce the law the way they saw fit a couple of months ago. Because it's not about whether or not people broke the law. No one broke the law in Elizabeth City, North Carolina when it comes to protesting. Not a single person. There is no such thing as a curfew, folks. I need y'all to understand. So anyone that was arrested during the 3 nights where there was a curfew, that's not the law. Do you see anywhere in the Constitution where it says, like, you have a freedom to assemble anywhere before 8 p.m.? Last time I checked, that's not in the Constitution. You have a freedom to assemble and assemble peacefully at any point that you choose. If you choose to do so at 2 a.m., you choose to do so at 2 a.m. If you choose to do so at 9 a.m., you choose to do so at 9 a.m. If you choose to do so at 8 p.m., you choose to do so at 8 p.m. Right? There is nowhere in the Constitution where there's an asterisk and then it says, unless there's a curfew in place because the mayor is a little chicken shit motherfucker and is afraid of nothing because they don't know how to talk to their community and they're afraid of the people that voted for them. There's no asterisk in the Constitution. It says you have a right and a freedom to peacefully assemble. And yet people were illegally arrested, right? And then, even after the curfew was lifted, they still illegally arrested people. They said that people were impeding traffic, even though they were on video being arrested on the sidewalk, in a crosswalk. Well, there was no traffic because cops were blocking off the roads. So let me get this straight. Cops can sit in the middle of the road and block traffic from coming onto Main Street, for example, right? And then someone walking on the sidewalk on Main Street can get arrested for impeding traffic. Huh? What? How does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense at all. They have been trying to illegally arrest as many protesters as they can. This is a game to the Elizabeth City Police Department and the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department. This is a game to them. They are flexing their muscles even when there's nothing to flex for. And they look foolish every time. And they know the national media is gone. And they know that no one really cares. And they know that they can just let it all go. Right? But, that's why I'm here. I still want to be here to make sure that people know what's going on. The people that don't live in Elizabeth City, North Carolina are aware of what's happening here. Because, again, the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department murdered Andrew Brown Jr. on April 21st, 2021. But the Elizabeth City Police Department and the Elizabeth City City Council and the mayor of Elizabeth City have also been trying to attack protesters the whole first 2 months. And then, last month, they went on a little bit of a victory tour saying that they support the protesters and they're super happy to be here. Huh? 2 months ago, you tried to get me killed. You tried to have someone throw a grenade launcher, a launched tear gas canister in my face. Now, all of a sudden, you said you've been supporting us since the beginning? That might work for some people, but it doesn't work for me. And so that's why I've been here every single day documenting this stuff. Because this is how a small town reacts to protests. The small town does not want to burn down anything because they live here. They've lived here their whole lives. They don't want to see anything set on fire. They don't want to see anything get out of control. But the local police departments have been trying to push them in those directions. They've been instigating, agitating, and attacking protesters. Police have injured protesters when they've illegally arrested people, dislocating people's shoulders. That's something that's very often done. They've stuffed people in vans, right? During a pandemic, provided no masks. They've held people on bonds of upwards of $1,000 for no reason. Why? Because they can. The state can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter if it's legal. It doesn't matter if it's illegal. Do you have a lawyer to defend yourself? If the answer is no, then guess what? They can do whatever they want. And this is what small town police departments are made of. Big city police departments are bad, but they kind of wear their badness on their sleeve. A lot of small town police departments love the community relations. They'd love to say, look, we're members of the community too. Look, you grew up with me. We went to high school together. And then when push comes to shove, they're going to beat the shit out of you and chase you down the street because you disagree with one of their coworkers killing one of your neighbors. The police do not care about you, right? They pulled all of their security detail on protests as the height of death threats and threats of violence against protesters occurred. The Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department pulled their detail and then also charged 12 protesters with nonsense, myself included, right? And then the Elizabeth City Police Department pulled their detail a couple weeks later, didn't give us a reason, said, oh, well, some people are tired. Huh? You're tired? You know who else is tired? I know a lot of people that work multiple jobs because they get paid minimum wage and they need to help feed their families. They're tired. Can they just stop coming into work because they feel like it and get paid vacation? No. But with the cops, they can just stop doing their jobs whenever they want and then get paid vacation time. What is going on here in small town cities? These are how small town police departments operate. They will brutalize, abuse, and assault protesters without any recourse, and nothing will ever happen to them. You can kill someone, shoot them in the back of the head, and show up to work the next day to an applause because they got a raise. The Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department got a raise for killing Andrew Brown Jr. They got more money. When the murderers walked back in from their paid vacation of watching Netflix and playing video games, right? I imagine everyone on the second floor balcony on the lobby, thank you, Robert Morgan, for killing someone, shooting them in the back of the head. Thank you so much. Now I can buy my kid a new sofa for their bedroom. This is the world that we live in small town cities. And again, I it's been 4 months, so I wanted to give you all a little bit more of an in-depth kind of view of what's happening here. But even though the protest movement is, not as energetic, not as numerous as it was before, there's still a dedicated number of people that are willing to remind people every single day. You don't need thousands of people marching through the streets to remind someone that someone was murdered in our town. You don't need that. All you need is a couple loud people on a megaphone and some good things to say. And so we've been out here, and we're going to continue to be out here as long as it takes until people actually listen to us and take us seriously. But that is 4 months in the books, folks. Elizabeth City, North Carolina, day 123 of protests for Andrew Brown Jr. All right, now I have to figure out how to, now I have to figure out how to fix my bullshit. Oh, Lord. So, I want to talk about Donald Trump next, but in doing so, I gotta fix my little bullshit, so we have to... Just bear with me here, folks. Bear fucking with me. Okay. Lord. Okay. I'm not gonna make the mistake again of, doing the vertical bullshit, I swear to you. Alright, that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? Looks better than it was before, if you ask me. Howdy, howdy, folks. What's up? Hello, Mr. Freak Glitcher. Hello, Felix Cornelius. Hello, Paladin. Hello, Abner. Hello, Brian. Hello, Ali CIA. Hello, Sal. Hello, Ham Space Stir. Hello, Jay Creates. Hello, New World Global Community. Hello, Anastasia L. Emphasis on L. Hello, Daffod. Hello, Courtney the Slip. Hello, Philby. Hello, Jachen. Hello, Rielan. Hello, Quincy. Hello, Ruby Ridge. Considering checking out today? What do you mean by that? What are you checking out? Like, checking out as in, like, you have something in your cart on an online shopping site and you're just going to check out? It's like, you know what? I'm going to buy myself a new t-shirt. I'm going to buy myself, you know, some doilies for my coffee table. Like, what are you checking out? Like killing myself. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, folks. And emphasis on Ruby. Definitely don't do that. Think about this. If you killed yourself, you wouldn't get to see my stream tomorrow. That's a reason to live. Yeah, let's check in on the Bad Faith podcast. See what their numbers are. Hello, Mark Hastings. Thank you for your work. I don't know what your work is, but thank you. I'm sure your work is very valuable. So folks, I have an update on the ongoing clash with myself and the Bad Faith podcast, this is a very interesting thing. So again, for a recap, folks, the Bad Faith podcast seemingly has 2 hosts, right? You go on there and you see 2 hosts. One of them is missing. Who knows what's going on with the Bad Faith podcast? So I launched a fundraising campaign on my Patreon, right? Right now I'm at $385. So if you're interested, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon and help me out here. But right now you see I have a goal, $385.22 out of $28,090. That was the Bad Faith Podcast's original monthly allotment that they've given for having half their staff just not show up to work. But in the interim period between that goal being set and today, they're actually continuing to bleed out. So this is a very interesting thing. They've lost $100 or so since then. Now, my monetary value is going up very slightly, but theirs is crashing, catapulting into the ground. They're going through the center of the earth and they're going to come out the other side, right? And so, folks, if you want to help close the gap, because let's be real here, I don't have a co-host. I'm upfront with that. The only co-host that even remotely exists is Max the dog. And he's playing with toys, roaming around the downstairs. I don't know. He's probably peeing all over the place and like destroying the furniture for all I know. Right? But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say, when you get into a podcast, by the way, I'm the co-host and I've got another host. Maybe I should do that as a bit. Maybe I should make up a co-host. Is that a good bit? What do you think? Anyway, so folks, if you think that the Bad Faith podcast is in bad faith, help me out. Subscribe to my Patreon and help me reach these new heights. Because if I had $28,000 a month, let me just tell you, it'd be pretty cool. So, I paid for the year in full, not increase the amount. It helps either way, Riolon. Thank you. You can make beets for above it all, like the vegetable. All right, folks. So this just literally showed up on my Twitter feed, but representative for the North Carolina district that I live in, Congressman Greg Murphy, MD. I don't know why he has MD in his Twitter name. He's from North Carolina. He's not a congressperson from Maryland. Why does he have MD in his title? Shouldn't it be Congressman Greg Murphy, NC? Why MD? So this guy doesn't even know what state he's in. But he is talking about impeaching Joe Biden because he's a loser and he has nothing better to do. The only reason not to impeach Joe Biden is because Kamala Harris would be worse. And then someone replies with an old Twitter post of his. Kamala Harris is a walking disaster. She was only picked for her color and her race. Is that how we pick our leaders now in America? Quote tweet Mike Pence. Who knows what Mike Pence was tweeting at that time. But in this screenshot, he figured out what state he was from. Now he's from Maryland. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's vacationing in Maryland, so he thinks he's a congressperson from Maryland now. Either way, Greg Murphy is dumb as a motherfucker. And I just wanted to talk about that because no one talks about Greg Murphy because he's a loser. And so maybe I should talk about him more because I'm a loser too. So either way, if you're advocating to impeach Joe Biden, and you didn't advocate to impeach Donald Trump, I got news for you. You're a dumb motherfucker. Now, personally, I think we should impeach every president. I think Joe Biden should be impeached for telling the CDC to lift the mask mandate. Personally, that's just me. But also, I think Donald Trump should have been impeached for almost everything he did in office. I think Barack Obama should have been impeached for a lot of things that he did. I think George W. Bush should be impeached. But either way, Joe Biden has done a pretty horrendous time. The best thing he's done so far was withdraw from Afghanistan, and even that was a disaster. So, you know, what are you going to do? He's not doing so good. So, let's get into it, folks. So, Aaron Rupert is at it again, getting back into his old shoes, getting back into old habits. The old Aaron Rupert is back, folks. And that's right, he's making a Twitter thread of Trump clips from a Trump rally. So, I haven't watched any of these yet. I just bookmarked the thread because I figure it might be epic. And so, let's go. So, let's click the last one in the thread, and then I can scroll up from there. All right, so Donald Trump went to Alabama to promote conspiracy theories, including that he was somehow, even though he lost the election, secretly the real president. So for those of you that don't know, Joe Biden is the president of the United States, and he won the 2020 election. He destroyed Donald Trump in the popular vote and also won in the Electoral College vote and was certified as president on January 6, 2021. He is the president of the United States. There is no contesting that. I'm sorry. But Donald Trump is going to go out there and promote some conspiracy theories. And so let's check this out. This is like the very interesting thing about the Delta variant. So again, I'm going to be very clear. Donald Trump is saying some garbage, some hooey. This is no good. Everything he is saying is bad, and I am playing it to comment on it being bad so that people know that the former president of the United States is bad. I do not agree with what Donald Trump is saying. This is for educational purposes and comedic purposes only.
He didn't stop the virus, you know? They say, oh, he gets wonderful marks. He doesn't get good marks. He's done a terrible job, including on vaccinations, including on everything else. And now the virus is back. The virus is back. I'm shaking hands with everybody backstage. I say, well, I don't know. Is this a good thing or bad? You'll read about it in 3 or 4 days, maybe. Hopefully not.
So he is basically saying the current president, the one that he lost an election to, is bad at handling the pandemic, but he's making it worse? Huh? How is that even possible? How is that even possible? All right, let's check this out.
Let me ask you, do you think that General Patton was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke. He was the exact opposite. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke.
Folks, if you would have told me, let's say 5 years ago, right, that the president and now currently former president of the United States would be using the term woke, I would have been like, nah, no way. Why would that even be a thing? Why would woke? First of all, what does that even mean? What does woke even mean? No one can define what it means. It's like also critical race theory. What is critical race theory? Oh, well, actually, it's a study of America's history and how, you know, history was written mostly by white people and mythologized. And also, like, you know, they've been stepping on people of color and other minorities since the inception of this country. And the real history of America has been covered up over and over and over again. And we need to examine that and wonder why. Nah, critical race theory is anti-white. When you go to school in kindergarten and your school, even though critical race theory is like a college academic, you know, kind of spin-off, but they're teaching it in kindergarten too or whatever, and they're going to teach your kid that white people are evil, and what does woke mean? Well, woke means that the transgenders are gonna pee in the bathroom, and that's bad because, what?
Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true.
He said the S word! Yeah, I might clip that. That's a good one. Let me add that to my bookmarks. All right. Trump claims that a 5-year-old child is advising him on military issues.
But I asked the child, so what would you do after describing? Would you leave the military until everything's out, including the civilians and all of that incredible military equipment? Or would you have the military go out first? Sir, I'd leave the military in. He was 5. He said, I'd leave the military in.
Reminder, in 2016, Trump campaigned on withdrawing and ending wars. Just saying.
Thing out first. I said, thank you very much. But they didn't want me to tell that story. They thought it was not an appropriate story, but it's true. This was a 5-year-old kid, 5 or 6-year-old kid.
Is he 5 or 6?
And this is what we're stuck with. But
All right, so here we go. The big one, folks. Check this out. I'm going to turn the volume up for this one. Check this out. Trump is encouraging his audience to get vaccinated. Check it out.
3 days, less than 9 months. And it's great. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working. But you do have your freedoms. You have to maintain that. You have to maintain that. And you got to get your kids back to school. 3 days.
They booed him, folks. They fucking booed him. What? That's incredible. Trump at his rally in Cullman, Alabama. All right, let's check it out.
And I lost again, but then I won. I said, you didn't say I won. Well, you did lose. In other words, technically they're right. I lost in court, but I won. Then we have a travel ban. And without that travel ban, you would have some really bad people in here from places in the world that are evil. And it was a great thing. I took a lot of heat over that travel ban. People said, that's not nice. They all like to call it a Muslim ban. It wasn't a Muslim ban. It was a travel ban from a lot of different countries that are bad. And
a lot of different countries that are bad. What? I don't understand. Like, what is happening with this guy? All right, so let's get into it, folks. Let's get into it. The big scoop. Mike Lindell is alive and well and channeling his energy through Donald Trump.
One of the first acts that Biden did after Mitch McConnell said, we must get back to work. We have to get our country going. We have to approve him as the president. Even though the evidence was staggering, you'll see the evidence starting to come out. It's already come out far beyond what we need. By the way, far, far, far beyond what we need. We have to get back to our country and running our country, Mitch McConnell. And the first thing that Biden did was sign 17 of the worst executive orders in the history of our country.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So there is a threshold, right? There is a threshold, apparently, that exists in order to, post hoc, overturn an election result. That threshold has been met, but then also it hasn't happened yet. What? Now, if you would have said, the evidence has yet to come out, and once it okay, you're still a dumbass, right? But, he's saying the threshold has been met. The evidence is clear. It's out there. Where is it? I don't know, but it's out there. And the threshold has been met. It just somehow hasn't happened yet. Interesting. This one ought to be good too.
People, she's so smart. I hope she's around. She is an incredible woman.
I hope she's around.
She's a brilliant woman, doesn't get credit for it, but we all know about that stuff. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie, where is she?
I hope she's around, folks.
She's great. She is great. She's a warrior. She's a warrior. Everything I said about Georgia is true, Marjorie, right? Yeah.
So anyway, this guy's going out there again. I I can't even bother with the rest of this. There's too much. But either way, Trump had the rally. It's as bad as you would expect. And, you know, he's throwing out a bunch of cringe. And it's incredible to watch. That, like, again, they were all cheering him until he told them to I literally can't with this guy. I mean, like, he's still alive somehow. He still exists. And he's able to participate in society without being booed and having tomatoes thrown at him. And that's impressive to me in some capacity. Ruby Ridge, you're posting a lot of very interesting material in the chat room. Now, okay, let me get on record here. I do not think Joe Biden will resign. I think Joe Biden will go the Ronald Reagan route, and at some point he's going to lose all cognition, but he's not going to resign. That's what I think. Trump lives in my head rent-free. My head? This is the problem with, like, these weird reactionary losers, right? Is that, like, they don't understand the concept of comedy, right? They think if I even think about Donald Trump, right? I'm obsessed. Living in my head rent-free. What? I just don't understand. He's literally shitposting IRL, and it's hilarious. I mean, it's really fucking funny. It's really funny. It's amazing content. Oh, in your head, okay? So you're speaking in second person? I speak in second person sometimes. It happens. I feel it. All right. So let's get into this. This is some good drama that I saw. So, in the Jimmy Dumbo Dumbfuck Door saga, that's right, folks, we're back at it. Ryan Grimm is responding in a way. He's pointing out that Jimbo Dumbo is a Dumbo in some capacity, and he's quote-unquote defending Hassan Piker for buying a house. Now, personally, I don't care about this shit, but either way, I'm going to make videos about it because it's really funny and Jimmy is stupid. So, Ryan Grimm on Twitter says, this is a fair point. Natalie Shore says something about, I'm not going to bother. This is a fair point, but also, who doesn't like Hassan? He seems pretty hard to dislike. There's a Hassan-hating subculture I don't know about, question mark. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Hassan Piker. I don't know why. Now, a lot of people keep telling me to watch his program. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to let you know. I don't even have time to fucking brush my teeth in the morning. I'm just kidding. I do, but I choose not. I have time for it. I just choose not to. But anyway, either way. After defending at Cenk Uygur and at Anna Kasparian for smearing Julian Assange and McCarthy smearing anti-war journo Aaron Mott, I love how Jimmy Dore is doing like a recap here, right? Like he's doing like he's like, this is like, you know, like if you're watching like episode like 147 of Dragon Ball Z, and there's like that 2-minute like recap where it's like, and Cell then cracked out, like what? Why is he doing a recap? I don't understand. Now, establishment defender Ryan Grimm steps to tell you how much he likes this creep in the video. I don't care about this video. I'm not going to watch. It doesn't matter to me. This is like old YouTube. This is like a screen recording of YouTube from a long time ago. I don't give a shit. Whatever this is irrelevant to me. So, Ryan Grimm responds, your random caps game is strong. I see you've learned from the I don't know what the capitalization plan is here. But more exclamation points. Fake news. All right. So basically, Ryan, I just want to say, is Ryan Grimm the best person in the world? I don't know. I don't really watch his content. I know he's the new host of Rising or something. I don't watch Rising. I don't give a shit. So Jimmy Dore responds with, nice job of ignoring the content of the video. And how dumb you look right now defending him in TYT, smearing if Assange and anti-war journalists. You are a gift to me? What is... So, okay. Hassan buys a house, and that has to do with Julian Assange? What is with the Julian Assange people? Does anyone know? Like, I'm going to come out here, I'm going to give you a controversial statement. Fuck Julian Assange. Now, Do I think he shouldn't be, like, he should be illegally detained and imprisoned? No, but he's a fucking loser. If you want to advocate for freedoms, why don't you advocate for freedoms for someone else like Edward Snowden or something? He's at least a little bit more intelligent. Julian Assange sucks. He's a loser, right? But this weird thing, there's a fascination with these forced to vote cultists with Julian Assange. Everything is about, like, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Oh, I had a, egg white omelet and, I sprinkled some red pepper flakes on there. Did you know that Julian Assange loves... Oh, what did you, you went to the grocery store yesterday? Did you get anything interesting? Oh, yeah, I went down the cereal aisle and then I got a box of Cookie Crisp. And then I thought about how Julian Assange can't have a box of Cookie Crisp because he's being... So I heard you were playing some video games yesterday. What games were you playing? Well, I was playing a game, but really the game doesn't matter. What only matters is Julian Assange is on my mind. Seriously, I don't understand what this fascination is. Like, okay, part 1, Hassan Piker buys a house. Part 2, Julian Assange. What? So anyway, and also, who cares about this video? This is clearly like a fucking 10-year-old video. I don't give a shit. If you want to go 10 years back and attack Jimmy Dore's past for being anti-woke, attacking trans and gay people in all of his stand-up shows, we can play that game. But I don't give a shit. So, Ryan Grimm, is it your position that anyone who has a cringe video on the internet should not live in a multi-million-dollar house? I guess that's Jimmy Dore's position. My position is you are a duplicitous, transparent establishment shell who runs interference for, the number 4, politicians and corporate creeps like TYT who smear Julian Assange and anti-war journos with apostrophes. What is the apostrophe there? Journos. Are you a snake? Do you have a stuttering problem? Hey. I sometimes stutter too, but what is a journos? Anyway, and now you are trying to convince people this creep is a nice guy. Why won't you come on my show? Scared? So Ryan Grimm responds, why won't I go on your show? You're at once a lunatic and also uninteresting, which is hard to pull off. You said this below about me, so obviously I'm not going anywhere near you. Hilarious you'd call someone else a creep. And this clip is when... Jimmy Dore refers to Ryan Grimm's cum.
And putting on the t-shirt didn't work. People go over there. Go to the Vanguard. I love that show. I love those guys.
So I covered this actually. Jimmy Dore said that Ryan Grimm wearing a t-shirt was it was a secret strategy to keep Julian Assange in prison. It wasn't because he is in his own home and maybe just woke up and was just doing a podcast appearance with a bunch of losers and just didn't care to dress up in a suit and tie. That can't be it at all. He was secretly wearing a t-shirt as a way, it was a signal. Wearing a t-shirt on a podcast means you hate Julian Assange. And so Jimmy Dore found out about that.
And putting on the t-shirt didn't work.
It didn't work. Jimmy Dore cracked the code. So Ryan Grimm then responds, okay, here's what I'll offer you. If you finally agree to debate Sam Seder, I'll be happy to appear with you on somebody's show after that. I'm sure you'll never actually do that, but if you do, then let's talk. Until then, returning to mute. And so this was a couple days ago, and Jimmy Dore mysteriously stopped responding. And, we all know why. We all know why he mysteriously stopped responding. But either way, I'm loving this saga here. This is just extremely entertaining. And that's the thing is, I get to make video about, video about it, and it's hilarious. I get to make videos about Jimmy Dore being an idiot, and then people watch those videos, and then they watch my other videos, right? That's the thing, right? Sometimes my Jimmy Dore videos get a lot of views, and then I get a lot of subscribers, and then they watch my videos on Elizabeth City protesting, and they see what's going on in my local small town. And that, to me, is a huge win. So I will definitely get my pickaxe ready and mine this content so that people can see what's more interesting in the world. But again, wearing a t-shirt is a secret. It's a secret code. It's some Illuminati stuff. It's a secret code, and what it really means is that you hate Julian Assange. But also, for those of you that don't know the context, Jimmy Dore has been dodging a debate with Sam Seder for, I think, 6 years now. So, it's super interesting how that's going. But, we'll see. Ruby Ridge, are you having, like, some sort of episode? Like, let's read some of these comments. All right. Let's read them without, like, let's just go scroll up and read Ruby Ridge. Okay? Go woke, go broke. I can't believe he said shit, lol. Why did Biden let the Taliban have $10 billion of military equipment? That's actually a good question. I'm glad we're leaving there, but why give the Taliban all that free aid? That's actually a good question. Abner, liberals are not the brightest. I agree with that. At least no mean tweets, but the country is going to shit. Oh, the mean tweets thing. Kamala Harris is about to be president after Biden resigns. Pelosi in that picture is so bad. Trump still lives in your head rent-free. I'm a manic. All right? Interesting. Imagine if Trump becomes president again. I hate Hassan Piker. Actually, I don't know who he is. Hassan said the USA deserved 9/11. Okay, so you hate Hassan Piker while not knowing who they are, and then said that Hassan said the USA deserved 9/11, which, by the way, that's one of the only things that I've heard about Hassan Piker, and I think it's amazing. I think that's really good content, so just throwing that out there. So, let's see. Then Ruby Ridge took a little bit of time off. Can we all agree that 94.54% of the alphabet peeps are grifters? Now, I don't know what alphabet peeps mean. Do you mean like Alphabet, like the corporation, like the one that owns Google? Because I will agree that I think Google are grifters. I think that, you know, for the most part, the CEO at Google and, you know, the top people that operate Google, I think they're grifting in a lot of ways, but I don't know what that means. Sam Cedar is a cuckold. Sam Cedar is a grifter of all grifters. Okay. And then we got, you know what the alphabet peeps are. I don't know what that means. Elizabeth City was put on the map by a drug dealer. Mental breakdown. Sam Cedar is a cuckold grifter. I didn't vote for Trump. Yo, Ruby, do you want to come on the show? Do you know how Discord works? Do you have a microphone? You want to come on the show? Are you interested at all? Using your voice, putting the voice to text? No, you're not able to do that. I'm naked. I don't care. I'm not asking you to come on camera. I'm asking you to just, like, use your voice. Come on. Open invitation to come on the show. Tell me all about the alphabet people. Tell me all about Sam Cedar. And tell me all about the drug dealers. I'm very curious, Ruby. I'd love to know more. Come on. Come on. Alright, so I think Ruby Ridge is going to have to be timed out, folks. Not going so well over there. Anyway, let's check out some more news if we can. Did anyone hear that, apparently Destiny accidentally took meth? That's a good one. I'm not going to do a segment on that, but it's funny. So here's a poll that I found very interesting. New poll: Americans strongly support Afghanistan withdrawal, want domestic issues prioritized. So let's look at the key findings. A majority of Americans, 51%, believe the United States should be less militarily engaged in conflicts around the world. That's a lot, right? And that's really good. Only 7% think we should be more engaged. And I imagine the rest of that percentage are people that, oh, what's a military? Is there a world outside of my bedroom? I imagine that's the rest of them. A strong majority of Americans, 60%, support the decision to bring our troops home from Afghanistan compared to 22% that oppose that decision. Opposition to redeploying American troops to Afghanistan, 47%, far outweighs the support for such a move, 29%. Two-thirds of Americans, 67%, think we should prioritize domestic issues over foreign policy issues. So what this tells me is the mainstream media talking about how much of a disaster Afghanistan is. I think what they're trying to accomplish by bringing on people like John Bolton and all these other weirdo creeps is they want the military-industrial complex to get the big win. They want to go in there because now they find, oh, if we go back in there now, we'll never leave. Because now, oh, in the future, right, the whole plan of action would be, oh, in the future, if people suggest we withdraw, they just compare it to this. And they go like, oh, it was such a disaster. Now, again, was the Afghanistan withdrawal horrible? It was done pretty bad. It was like actually like legitimately not great. And they fucked it up big time. Big time. They fucked it up. And the Taliban outplayed them, outsmarted them almost every single step of the way. Right? Now, I'm no Taliban supporter, unlike those at Fox News. But I gotta give it to them. I gotta hand it to them. You know, if I had a hat on, I'd take it off. They did a pretty good job at winning that battle. But either way, we shouldn't have been there in the first place. The whole project was a disaster. The whole thing in the get-go was a disaster. America's involvement in Afghanistan from the jump, right, in the 70s and 80s has been a disaster. And so, again, at what point do you just say, all right, we fucked up, let's get the hell out? So again, it could have been done better. Absolutely. No question. But to say that we should have a permanent presence in Afghanistan is ridiculous. I personally think the United States should close all military bases abroad. That's my opinion. We should shut down all military operations in every country in the globe. Right? Even our allies, like Japan, right? Have you heard of what soldiers have been doing in Okinawa over the last couple of decades? Raping villagers, killing villagers, stealing from them, treating them like, you know, like, it's just ridiculous, right? Why does America feel the need to have a military presence everywhere? There's no need for that. We should shut down all of the military operations and funnel all of that money into providing for all of our citizens. And then once we have a surplus, once every citizen in the United States is fully got health insurance, food for the rest of their lives, housing situation all, you know, settled, then we take that surplus and we start paying it forward. That's what we should do. Instead of saying, oh, here's a couple, you know, $1 billion, but we're only going to give it to your defense contractor buddies and your military operations and all that, and then we're going to have a military base in your country. Why don't we just give billions of dollars, blanket checks to all the countries in the world? That's my opinion. Right? Why don't we, I don't know, try to end child slavery all across the world? Instead, the Supreme Court's defending child slavery. Right? I'm just saying, like, it's a no-brainer, folks. And the idea that 60-ish% of Americans support the decision to withdraw from Afghanistan leads me to believe that at least 60% of people might be able to be convinced to be communists. Like, I'm just saying, if you are anti-war, it's not a far step from anti-war to pro-peace. And if you're pro-peace, I got news for you. You're a communist and you haven't realized it yet, but that's just my opinion. But either way, this is a very good poll. I'm happy that most people are, they know that this is a disaster. That is to say, the media's portrayal of this is a disaster. They're not falling for the bullshit, and that's good. I think that that's good. You know, I am in support of just destroying. I think we should just end the United States military. National Guard, that's good enough. We don't need a military. What do we need a military for? What are we playing, Civilization? We're not playing jack shit. What is this, fucking 1874? What are we doing here? It's 2020 goddamn motherfucking one. Why do we need militaries? Why do we need bombs? Why do we need nukes? Why do we need fighter jets when people are sleeping on the streets? What? What the hell is going on here? Alright, folks, that's my show for today. I'd like to say thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all for watching. And how about we end the United States? I'm down. Let's get it. So thank you all for watching. I am going to turn on my air conditioner, and then I'm going to stop the show. So, all right, folks. Part 1. It's time for part 2. All right, folks. That's part 2. It's time for part 3. All right, part 4. And part...
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat. Yeah.
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
So seriously, hot sauce, a lot of egg. So seriously, a lot of egg. So seriously, a lot of egg. Raw peppers. So seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of egg. Raw peppers and hot sauce. I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent like hell. I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter. I don't know Bo. I know Hunter. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorable.
Cocaine use, and he didn't have a job. Everybody comes in, your grandmother. Everybody comes in. Everybody comes in, your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother, your cousins. They come in so easily, so crazy, so crazy. They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.